you are, Perry. Welcome to Telos, the second home planet of the Cybermen.
Doctor, we're not supposed to be here.
What?
You promised me we can go to Blackpool.
Blackpool? 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 You don't understand. Telos is the most amazing place that you can visit.
Well, you visited this a lot since your first, back, when you first met the Cybermen on their tomb?
Oh, yes. Well, I know it's a dangerous planet, but I thought I would explore the spirit. Don't you?
But Doctor, you promised me Blackpool. That's what you said, Blackpool.
Alright, come on, let's get about the TARDIS. I think the coordinates must have got wrong. Come on. Right, here you are, Perry. I give you Habiton 4. Also, there's a bottle spiral, so it's some sort of ship cruise, and it's somewhere in the 30th century. What do you think?
Doctor, you promised me Blackpool.
Did I? Oh yes, you're right. This isn't Blackpool. We must have got the coordinates wrong. All right, let's try again. Right, here you are, Kid Berry. I promised Blackpool. Here we are. Blackpool Tower. Here we are.
Doctor, this isn't Blackpool.
What?
Look behind you, goddammit, you clown!
What?
You promised me Blackpool. Why are we in London?
Right, that's it. I have enough of this. You wait there.
Where are you going?
To visit the boss. Look, John, this is outrageous. Why are we not going to Blackpool? Me and Perry, huh? You promised me the next story we're going to be in Blackpool after the Daleks. You chattel tart. Look, Colin, just calm down. Don't you tell me to be calm, you little tart. Look, we're trying to get you back, get in the Blackpool, Colin. We will, but just now the BBC came back from its hiatus. We have to lower the episode lengths now. So it's only 14 episodes. So for season 23, I'm very sorry, but it seems like your story, the Blackpool one, it's cancelled. What? You can't cancel what's already been planned. What? I mean, where are we going in? If we're not going to plan, where are we going in? Well, I hate to say this, Colin, but you are going on trial on the Time Lords. What? You cannot make this stupid idea. You know, ever since I became the Doctor, it becomes a lot more bad now. Nothing's bad, Colin. Oh yeah, have you seen the season 22, my first full season, violence, and also the 45 minutes length? That's outrageous. Well, I'm not having it. So what's next to happen? What are you gonna do to me next? Are you gonna fire me? Replace me with another actor?
Doctor, do you spoke the boss?
Yes, I have, and I've been everything sorted.
So, we're going to Blackpool then?
Well, I got somewhere like Blackpool, and you'll love it.
Oh, great, I love it. Come on, let's go.
Should tell where we're going next, but I'll tell you lot, fans. It's Ravelos. So, hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Classic Who Review, and today's video we're going to talk about the worst ever era in the years of the show.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
So yeah, I am going to talk about Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor, who played the Doctor between 1984 to 1986. So yeah, it was as I say, it was the worst era, but for me, maybe everyone liked Colin Baker a bit, but some people don't. Yeah, but I know people think why I'm not wearing some costume for Colin Baker, because I didn't like him, so I just wear this t-shirt. That's what John Nathan Turner wore. It was his era. You can see the difference. I think John Nathan Turner wear some sort of blacky treasure t-shirt maybe.
Maybe Kai? Yeah, but anyway, that's the 80s. So yeah, this review. So if you guys want, also if you guys also I'm releasing these videos every month, like I keep saying, every month for each Doctor. If you guys want to comment below to subscribe, like, and comment below what do you think. What stories we'll be reviewing for the from each Doctor over these videos, but it has to be one story each of their seasons. So yeah, let's go on to Colin Baker, the 6th Doctor. So what do you think about Colin Baker in his era? Like, well, I can say, in quote, I mean, I might say it was one of the worst eras ever imagined. I mean, I didn't like Colin Baker as the 6th Doctor in these days, and well, because his acting was a little stale and a lot more still characteristic as the Doctor, but sometimes during his first story, I didn't like it. That was the Twin Dilemma, because he has personality. Sometimes he's bad and sometimes he's good because he's pretty much like Jack and Hyde. I felt sorry for Colin Baker for his era having grew up the way it should been, because my reckon was season 23, not the original season 23, but it was another season 23 that should have planned and it would have been better, except the season 23 we got now. But anyway, Colin Baker did try, and yeah, and I feel sorry that he got fired. But I don't mind he got fired when he was the Doctor, when John Nathan Turner left, and it's like Nathan. I am Nathan Turner. I decided to leave, and yes, we are gonna fire Colin Baker. And Colin Baker's like what? Yeah, he was just calling. He was on the phone. I heard it from the Wikipedia. Yeah, he got the phone call and he said he got fired. And ever since John Nathan Turner came back for season 24, he asked Colin Baker to come back, but then suddenly he said no. So yeah, that was I had a lot of issues because this Colin Baker's era did make Doctor Who had a lot of bad issues and a lot of bad times what the production teams would have done. The only worst thing ever done this season was season 22. You know, with the 45 lengths and including the unrated violence. I mean, I watched season 22 stories and these stories were unrated and violent. I mean, it's just because that was an experiment. It was an experiment back then. So that's what I can say for Colin Baker. Did his time as the Doctor. So I got the stories ready. So let's go to the stories for what I liked in his era. So let's go. So the first story we're going to review is Attack of the Cybermen. It was written by Paula Moore, I think. And it aired in 1985. The story sees the Doctor and his companion Perry arrive on Earth when they picked up an alien distress call on Earth in 1985. But eventually they discovered the Cybermen are responsible as they discovered they plan on saving Mondas from destruction, as they will be destroyed in next year, 1986, as the Cybermen are planning on saving Mondas before its destruction. This story is pretty much the most popular story that I ever watched. It did have a little violence in that one, just during the end of part 2. But the only thing I do like in this story was because it's the Cybermen. These Cybermen, yeah, the classic Cybermen, you know, that style. I do like how the explosions of the actions, you know, like the Cybermen being exploding and the screams. It was pretty much the classic then the Earth shock. So here's the explosions. Yeah, it was hilarious. I mean, I do like the Cybermen, these Cybermen in this time. And also, this story had very much a good character piece for Colin Baker as the Doctor. Played not like the Doctor that I know when he was bad around the stories, but his in this one the story was pretty good on that one. So I think Attack of the Cybermen was a very popular story that I can say. Much like how the Tomb of the Cybermen did and Korean's The 10th Planet had made popular what the Cybermen were doing in that story, trying to go back in time and changing their own history. and also I like the bit with the aliens were in that story. The ones that when the Cybermen took over Telos, the carnivores, I think that's their names. I haven't got their names. So yeah, Attack of the Cybermen was my good story for Colin Baker. So I'm giving that story 8 out of 10. That's my comedian. Yours could be very, very different. So the next story I'm going to be reviewing is the last story reviewing because Colin Baker only did 2 seasons. So the last story review is the Terror of the Vervoids. Was written by Pip and Jane Baker. The story will see the Doctor and along with his new companion Melanie Bush, played by Bonnie Lamford, will arrive at some sort of a cruise ship on its way to the spiral system where the crew are being where one of the crew members were murdered, and also vegetable plant creatures are on rampage on the ship called the Vervoids. This story was also the first story for Melanie Bush as Bonnie Lamford. Bonnie Lamford as Melanie Bush. I didn't like her as a companion much, but yeah, I heard the news that she's coming back with Susie Gatra in his first season. So I don't mind Bonnie Lamford will come back, but since I didn't like her as a companion much. This story was very the best story I ever watched. The reason why this story is better because the Vervoids. The Vervoids were my most popular monsters in the Colin Baker era. I did a video of them on my Doctor Who fan series called The Poiser's Land. You can go watch it now. So anyway, this story was very much a good one, and the Vervoids in that one were pretty good, and I do like how their style on that one was pretty brilliant. Also the staging area with on the ship cruise, the Vervoids and Mel's scream didn't. It was okay. I mean, yeah, that's the reason why Mel was not my real companion, because he keeps screaming like. Well, I mean, yeah, she is a comedy character, Bonnie Lamford, and but anyway, it was a bit fine that one. So that's it. What I can talk about for Terror of the Vervoids, and there's also the part of the Trial of a Time Lord arc. I don't have the full box set, but I only looked on Daily Oceans or somewhere. But anyway, Terror of the Vervoids was my best story on the season 23. So I'm giving that story 7 out of 10. So that's my opinion. Yours could be very, very different. So that's really not the end of the Colin Baker era, because there's the next story I'm reviewing. Well, not really next story for Colin Baker for one season 23, but it's also the one story that should have aired, and it should have been the best one, and it's called The Nightmare Fair. It was written by Graham Williams. This story should have been the best story and I ever want to watch. But eventually the BBC went to hiatus and they scrapped that story. The reason why people did love that one because the Celestial Toymaker was supposed to be coming back in that story. Yes, the Celestial Toymaker was supposed to come back in that one, but as we heard rumours that maybe that Neil Pendrick Harris will come back in the 60th anniversary special, that people may believe that he is the Toymaker. So yeah, that's what that plan should have done. Maybe we'll do it in the 60th anniversary. So yeah, the Nightmare Fair. It would just see the Doctor and Perry arriving in Blackpool. They want to take a holiday there, when eventually they discover the Toymaker is building deadly video games to take over the Earth. This story had many issues trying to get it in production, but then when the BBC went to hiatus, when the show got cancelled, well, not literally cancelled, when they came back in autumn to about 1986, there were plans of production on that story, but eventually there were the 4 parts with now 14 length gap right now with the episodes for season 23. They had to scrap that story. I was disappointed that I heard that story. I heard what happened, but I wasn't back then. I just read about what really happened in that story. the reason why this story should have been better because it will be set in Blackpool. We've never seen a Doctor Who story set in Blackpool. I mean, can you just give another chance for that story? Maybe Jonathan Turner would have convinced Jonathan Powell. I can't discuss him now. Should be cancelling the show. But he would have convinced Jonathan Powell to keep Doctor Who running for only 3 stories in the very start of January, and then they'll move on to the second part of the season. So the season 23 we know should have been split into 2 parts. So I imagine that like part 1 would have said with 3 stories, and one of them will be the Nightmare Fair. Will be the Nightmare Fair, and then we get the second part of the trial of the Time Lord we got now. So yeah, I was disappointed that the Toymaker would have come back in that one. Got that one. So yeah. But anyway, like Doctor Who, we never give up the Nightmare Fair because I listened to that story on Big Finish. It's the Nightmare Fair is on Big Finish now. You can listen it on Shazam or on Spotify. On Spotify, I mean. So yeah, that's the end for the Classic Who review on the Colin Baker era. If you guys want for this video, if you guys want to comment below and subscribe and like and what you thought and comment below which stories we'll be reviewing for the next month, and that will be Sylvester McCoy, the 7th Doctor. I want to review his stories, and I'm very excited for releasing a review for his stories, but on Facebook live stream and including YouTube and on review. So comment below which stories we'll be review for his era, but it has to be 1 story in each of his seasons. So that's it now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Talio.